Good morning. Good morning. This is Justice's Waiting Room. This is a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. I am a socialist. I want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. I believe in equality for all, and that also means equal application of the law. It means equal treatment in the workplace. It means that no matter who you are and what you consider yourself, you're valid. Your experience is valid. Your thoughts are valid. Doesn't mean they're right, though. Doesn't mean we can't disagree. I had a great conversation with one of my fellow Marines yesterday that ultimately I just expect he will do the reading and come back to me and check his fucking self because I'm right. And you got to remember, I was telling my wife last night, I'm such an asshole that I don't actually care about what I think. I don't care about what I think. I'm stupid. You know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to go find the right answer, and that's going to be what I think. Sorry, Elon. So that's kind of how I do shit. Instead of letting my brain absolutely destroy me, I'm going to go figure out what those smarter people, what do the smart people say, right? Rather than have like dumb thoughts, right? You know what I mean? You get to a certain age and you're like, they had to write a book about that. I bet there's a fucking Cliff Notes. You know what I mean? Tidbit of information: probationary IRS workers being let go today. Allegedly 6,700 will be released by Saturday. Wow. Yeah, cuz I think dumb thoughts, right? And cuz I'm dumb, I'm like, "You know what? Before I open my mouth and insert my foot, uh I'm going to do some reading." And then come around to where should we land? Yeah? So, first of all, I would just ask before you come at me with that bullshit, read a fucking book. And especially if you're going to come at me on a topic, I'm going to leave that pretty open-ended. Like you should have an iota of what you're talking about before you come and, want to have a difference of opinion. Because I don't want your dumb brain to affect our relationship because I ain't got too many of them relationships laying around. Savvy, I was telling my wife last night, don't get to know people. Like, don't. Hmm. And then I realize this is what happens when I have mostly a female audience. I have mostly ever been supported by women, which is fantastic. Because if you've ever been around men, like, ugh. So, and also not gay, right? Like, so when I do converse with men, it's usually to my displeasure, where I'm just like, holy fuck, you're a vortex of bullshit. How the fuck do you have multiple children? Like, and somebody saw you and was like, fuck on me, huh? Hmm. Okay. What's wrong with guys? Um, so here's what I'll tell you. Been around the world and I ain't met very many uh female bigots. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like I'm sure there's racist white ladies, but like I haven't met very many of them. You know what I mean? But bigot and man, holy shit. Holy shit. I'm probably a bigot. and need to be told that more often. And I am actually cognizant of what bigotry is. I know, all the things contained under bigotry, right? And try not to fucking be them. That everybody like tracking, right? But it feels like every man that I know, the more I get to know, the more I'm like, holy shit. Now that I know that about them, I don't want to know anything else about anyone else. I'm good. I'm good. Do you got all the bigot women in your family? That fucking blows. Somebody just need, you know what? This middle knuckle fits really good right here. And if you just, you know what I'm saying? I bet they stopped saying that shit. Yeah, yeah. And listen, I've learned something in my life. I have learned a thing in my life. A thing. If you're a leader and they find out you're a bigot, you get nothing. Does that once they find out you're a bigot, like you actually if I actually was like a hardcore bigot, if there was somebody I didn't like, Catholics know reason and logic. Oh, I'm not religious. I think it's all superfluous. Matter of fact, instead of being uh an atheist and like I don't believe in a monotheistic thing, I believe in all of them. I talk to all of them. They talk helly shit about y'all. Just saying. You should listen to. Oh, I already put the music in the. Yeah. See, it's like Oh, that's terrible. But yeah, I want to make sure that I continue to point the spotlight on myself and say, while I'm sitting here calling myself a bigot, like I really do like try to not be a bigot. That would be wild. Um, but yeah, I don't know who taught me that um the invalidity of your anecdotal experience as it refers to like the larger population. I know that fucking sucks. Along the lines of being told like it's not about you. I got told that when I was very young and it stuck. It stuck. Where it was like, "Oh shit, it's not about me." Um but on the whole, people just stop fucking reading books. It's where my mom lives. Good to go. It's where my mom and her family's from. Yeah, I know. We don't go. Hey, I ain't trying to get outside the circle, dog. You know what I mean? I got a friend that owns a card shop in Greenwood. That's as fucking far as it goes. Fortunately, I ain't met any bigots there. I did have a weird interaction. I was working at that place, and the first time I met a man, so for the record, this is a story about a man. I did not know this person's name, nor their position within a company. Do you understand? Do you understand? I walked into a business. I didn't know. I knew my best friend who's the owner, who for the record, when I worked there, I worked for him. Or them, her. She told me what to do and I did that shit. That's literally what I got hired to do. Was to be like a personal assistant to a trans person, by the way. That's the reason I was like he, them, her, because they transitioned. Okay. Um, and so when I walked into this business for the first time and met men who worked there, there was two of them. One of them was kind, so we'll push him aside. And for the record, he's the other half owner. Are you tracking now? So you're like, okay, the two owners of this business are a trans woman and a kind older man. Yes, push them away. I'm not talking about them. There was a guy working there, okay? First time I ever met him, says, "Do you need something to do?" And when I tell you that I fucking Hyrukened him into the next fucking block over, who the fuck are you? Dead ass in alternate universes, right? In that one, I immediately was like, "I'm Jared, nice to meet you," and he reached his hand out, and then he repeated his fucking question, and again, I almost hit him. That's how fucking mad I was. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know who you are. I don't know who you are. And you're trying to give me orders? Sir, I was in the Marine Corps infantry during a time of war. You better fucking state your fucking name, rank. Who the fuck are you? Before you send orders, friend. Yes, yes. When a complete stranger, a man gives me orders. Yes, ma'am. I was in the Marine Corps infantry. I don't do that to anyone. I'm going to introduce myself and tell them for why I'm doing that and what. Yes, no, I don't give orders to strangers, ma'am. Nope, nope. I didn't clock in. I didn't fill out no paperwork. I sure as fuck was not there to work for him. And he's not the owner and he's not a manager. He's not in charge. Don't if your first emotion is to side with the other person, right? But I said in a million other universes, right? But in this one I stuck my hand out. Nice to meet you. My name's Jared. What's going on? And he was like, "Can I do you need something to do?" Again, I have a real issue with the assumed, right? Assumed role. Holy shit, it's like talking to a brick wall. I'm checked out. Anyway, I said in a million different universes, right? And but in this one, I just stuck my hand out and introduced myself, and if everything was clearly fucking fine, right? But it was just like I would never address a human being like that. What if I was a customer? Do you get it? Like, hi, welcome to business. How may I help you? How may I serve you? See, I've actually been in leadership, right? I've actually served my country. I'm an Eagle Scout. I've been in college. I work full time, have worked full time my entire life, or two or three jobs. Been given a great deal of responsibility. And I happen to think 1,000% the first fucking words out of your mouth matter, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? 1,000% the first words out of your mouth matter. Savvy? So if it's the first time we met, and I have a sort of a curious, right? Sort of the curious face. Like I want to interact, right? I raise my eyebrows. I'm like hot, hot, and the first thing you say, you need something to do. Oh hell no! I ignored him the first time. I was like, I just laughed, like, who the fuck are you? And I went and like was hanging out with my friend, and they were like, well, here's what I would ask you to do. And I was like, who the fuck was that? And he was like, oh, that's Beppa. And I'm like, are they like in charge? And he was like, they were like, no. And that motherfucker caught me four times in my first shift. Remember, I stuck my hand out the second time and introduced myself. My name is Jared. What's going on, man? Your name is? And your role in life is to tell me what to do. Savvy. Anyway, that was I've had that conversation a million times in my life. A million motherfucking times. Yep. You know why? It's because I'm 6'4", 300 pounds, and if you don't give me orders, I'm just gonna push you down and take over. Like it's fucking schoolyard bully, right? That's exactly what it is. What is the theme or subject of my life? Well, we discussed news and politics. Mhm. Today we were talking about Men. Speaking of men, here's Mike Pence showing a spine. Little late. Little late, Mike. Morning, everybody. Man. So again, we go order of importance here, right? For the first story we shared this morning was Mike Pence denouncing Donald Trump and saying no, Ukraine did not Ukraine did not start the war with Russia. Russia invaded Ukraine. What are we talking about? But at least Mike Pence is saying it. And then I think the next most important thing we need to discuss today is the upcoming schedule. I feel like I'm a coach of a baseball team. Like, hey, everybody, you know, we had a couple good outings on the 5th and the 17th. The next outing, per that Reddit post I just shared with you, on February 28th is the economic blackout. A lot of people have reached out and said, I'm in a position in government, I work a job, I'm a single mom with multiple kids I got to take care of, can't go to protests. Jared, how can I help? And I said, first of all, I empathize. I just started a job and haven't been able to go to a protest yet because of work. It sucks. I feel bad. That and the second time I actually was gonna go, my goddamn electric starter's not working on my car. My doors are frozen shut. So, sweet. But yeah, the next thing we got to do, okay? And we've been talking about what can you do if you can't protest, Yeah, I got friends in wheelchairs and shit, right? You could stop using Meta products, okay? And what I mean is just delete the apps from your phone. No Facebook Threads, IG Messenger, WhatsApp, Twitter, and Amazon. You need to get them all off your phone. Okay. I don't include TikTok because there's not a clear alternative. This app is trash. Let's just say it. Say it together. One of the things that I've stopped doing is doom scrolling. Good to go. That's one of the things I've noticed. Uh, I'm making just an observation here that I think if we can all latch onto this and understand, we were living in a fucked time frame when we were using these applications. I don't know if you ever caught it, but Facebook is like 2 weeks behind Twitter, right? And so in my eyes, if I have to live through the nightmare, I want to know what happens when it happens, right? So Twitter scratched that itch because you could figure out why the road was busy before you went down it, and you know what I mean? Like it had practicality, right? You could just use Blue Sky now. You don't even need Twitter anymore. And so I'm hoping to hit the random person that pays for, you know, yeah, you don't need to do that anymore. Okay? I'm an advocate of not fucking. My feed is now full of religious based ads and content and ads for companies I blocked. Yeah, I feel like Twitter went the Facebook route. TikTok went the Facebook route. Facebook went the TikTok route, and ultimately it's like, are there any apps that you've ever been on in your life that were more alike? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. They became the same thing. Okay. Now I say all that to say what I've kind of been like, fuck, I have to do it, is I have to create ASP profiles on all these social media sites. But I'm not, just so you know, this doesn't mean I'm going back on my word and I'm going to go use them now. Okay. I'm going to use like Hootsuite. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but basically you could just put 6 different social media profiles in there and post your shit on Hootsuite and it'll post it on all those sites. Okay. I'm not going to change what I do. I'm going to post content when I feel good. Hey, Allie. I'm going to post content when I feel good on YouTube. It's never getting posted on TikTok first. Okay? Why? If you give TikTok first blood, you get pennies. That's why. So I would just rather have nothing. TikTok never get my OC, and I'll just store it effectively on YouTube, right? And so I've made content already that if you go back and watch, obviously I'm revolutionary. I'm just kidding. But if you go watch my shit, it'll be more relevant in the future, right? That's the way I look at a lot of the content. It's a banking content, right? That's the way I think about it. Is when I have thoughts, I try to get them down and get them out, right? One of the reasons that here's a calendar I saw this because I saw this last night before I went to bed. And a lot of people have kind of asked like, what's your schedule? So I work um 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. My days off are Sunday and Tuesday, which are fantastic because I hate working on Sundays and Tuesdays specifically. I am satiated. Um, I work 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. I get an hour paid lunch. They just ask you clock out for lunch. Okay. Um, when I get off of work at 9 p.m., I'm trying to go to bed so that I can get up and be awake and feed the dogs in time to start the show by 8 a.m. Just so you all I'm habitual. I'm one of those people. Um if I got off an hour earlier, I would be able to wake up, go to the gym, eat breakfast, feed the dogs, have the show at 8 a.m. So I'm exercising after the show, eating after the show. I'm just on coffee in the morning when you see me. Okay. And like I said, I don't doom scroll. So when I'm at work, 12 to 9 p.m., I'm not on my computer. And I'm not putting anything on that work computer that I'm never losing my job for dicking around on a work computer. You understand me? I'm not doing that shit. So when I'm at work, it's like I'm working. I'm not sitting at a computer pondering the earth, right? Blue Sky, you know what Blue Sky is? Blue Sky is a filtered Twitter feed. It's like I don't have to see a bunch of shit I don't want to see anymore. I could just see the people I follow. And when the algorithms like that, you doom scroll a lot less. You find a headline that you want to, that contains a story you want to read. You read the story, you feel good because you read some shit, learned some shit, generally are satiated. You're gonna not doom scroll because one of the pieces of literature that I read that comes out pretty daily is Democracy Docket. I watch uh, Mark Elias, who was um, Kamala Harris's top attorney. So I read Democracy Docket. I'm literally telling you this is what I do. I don't watch mainstream media. I don't watch the news. Why? I have the Indiana subreddit, the Indianapolis subreddit more specifically. I'm not actually a big Indiana fan, just so everybody fucking knows that shit. Okay? Yeah, Mark Elias is an attorney. The man does not lose. I want to be on his team. So yeah. Oh, and I made a big decision and I feel like I should share it with my audience. Uh, I think I'm gonna drop out and get a degree in political science and take the LSAT, probably. So I was gonna get a degree in data analytics from Purdue, and it's not that I can't do the work. So I just want to make sure everybody knows it's not because I'm not smart enough. It's because I don't necessarily want to work in that field, having like studied it, and you're like, oh shit, I don't want to do that shit. I'd rather do the job I do. You know what I mean? But I think I'm just gonna get a bachelor's in political science. So that way, at the very least, the founder of the American Socialist Party has a degree in political science. Like, has taken the LSAT, right? Not probably not gonna be a lawyer. Like, probably not gonna do that. It doesn't pay enough. Not that I'm aware of. I guess somebody in my chair that made $700,000 last year working 40 hours a week. So until they start paying like that, nah. But I do think that it lends credibility, right? And that's what anyone wants, right? Anyone wants credible effort, right? And so one of the things that I want to make sure that I show when I build the American Socialist Party and I do the legwork, which is about all I got left to do. And we're switching our banks this weekend. So we're going to the credit union this weekend. I'm going to tell them I'm starting the American Socialist Party. I'm just kind of confused as to the order of operations, right? No, doesn't hurt to have in your pocket. And like I said, the more I learned about data analytics, it was like I'm too deep. I need to back up. The y- when you get really deep into data analytics, it has a lot to do with reliance on AI, and everyone hates AI. I just want to make sure I'm telling you, I'm at Purdue University taking capstone courses in data analytics. The professors fucking hate artificial intelligence. The fucking students hate artificial intelligence. People that actually have to use this shit, whose careers are going to be fucking involved using that shit, hate it. Hate it. It's not good. It's not the first thing that I would want to use. Like, does this make sense to anyone else? I'm way more likely to want a calculator. I'm way more likely to want a scientific calculator. I'm way more likely to want to do the Google research on my own, come up with a few sources, kind of sit there and think about what if I had to write a paper about this? What would I need to glean from these articles in order to like pass? And generally, if you can take three different sources on the same subject, get enough information from three different subjects to think like, all right, this, you could put the whole fucking thing together, right? It's not that hard. The thing about artificial intelligence that's the problem is that it's a misnomer. Did you hear what I said? I'm going to say it again. The problem that I have with artificial intelligence is that it's a misnomer. And your question is, what the fuck does that mean? And the answer to that is it artificial intelligence lacks consciousness. And if you call it artificial intelligence and it doesn't have a consciousness, it's not AI. It's misnomer. It is literally machine learning, deep machine learning. It's just a smart computer. It's just spreadsheets. I've been shouting it from the fucking rooftops. AI is not what you think it is. It's being oversold. It's not the first tool in the toolbox. It is a tool in the toolbox. It is not driving anything. It is not autonomous. Hey, if you run it like a spreadsheet, you eliminate social safety nets and millions of people die, and you see that as a success because the population went down and the money went up. That's not how government works. This is a problem now, is that we've let stupid people that have oversold you on artificial intelligence run the world, and I'm sitting here telling you it's a people game. It's not. It's people are not a numbers game. You can't treat people like a spreadsheet. You can't government is not a business. You know it feels like it, seems like it, tastes like it sometimes, but it's not. It's about people. And that's where we've been fucked up a long time. And it's because ultimately the justice system is failing us over and over and over again. And it's really just a racist plot at this point. I mean, it has been. Okay. Make sure you like this shit, share this shit, follow me. If you have questions, ask them. That's what the purpose of the show is. Uh, my name is Jared. My last name is Malat, for the record, so that you know where to find me. Yeah. So one of my best friends is a millionaire business owner here in Indianapolis. Okay. And we were playing League of Legends the other day, talking about socialism and my education, and this is a millionaire business owner. You talk about efficient, only been there a year. Efficient. Okay? Turned $40,000 into over $1 million in a year. Yes, efficient. Okay? And he and we were talking about artificial intelligence. And they said, as it refers to running a business, artificial intelligence is just smart spreadsheets. That's all it is spreadsheets. It's nothing. It's not consciousness. It's not a higher being. It's not learning on its own. You have to give it all the information. Just like a computer database. That's all it is. And it got oversold. And I know it's a fucking letdown too if your job's been replaced by AI, and I'm telling you it's no better than the little paperclip in Word. It's no better. It's just a slightly it's like a algorithmic take on spreadsheets. There. That's all it really is. It's like spreadsheets but everything's all filled out. All the conditions in each box are set, and again, I just want to keep saying, like, you can't run a government. You can't run the government like you do business. It doesn't work like that. So when you eliminate hundreds of jobs and you free up all that money, you were supposed to rehire. Like when you fire someone, it's because you got someone in mind, right? But yeah, I want to make sure I spend quite a bit of time talking about, hey man, AI is bullshit. Somebody had to say it. And then, like I said, here's a schedule that somebody so nicely made for us on Protest Finder USA. So I want to make sure because I don't see anyone else doing this anywhere in the internet. Okay, hey, far be it from me to tell you I'm the source of truth and light, right? It would be much wiser for me to point you to where I go, right? Here's R50501. Okay, some people have preconceived notions against what they perceive as like left-leaning protests, left-leaning and protesting. So if that's where you're at, where you're like, oh, no R50501, I heard them stinking leftists are there. Okay, man. Here's Protest Finder USA. It's just American protests. I wouldn't call that specifically left-leaning. But there's even another subreddit where you can go and get information about protests. A lot of people have been asking, okay? But yeah, a lot of people, the most interaction I get is people saying, obviously I love your content, right? But hey man, I can't go to the protests. What do I do? I feel terrible. You could get the shit to make a sign and put it in your yard. Take a stand. People put people put Trump signs in their yard. Why can't you put Elon Musk as a terrible president on the sign in your yard? Why can't you do that? I think I'm gonna do that. Okay. I think that's what I'm gonna do for the 28th. Does that make sense? Because I get paid on the 28th, but I'm gonna figure out how to do that. big marker, I guess. Like those markers that are thick and they write like inch tall letters. Yeah, probably do that. Um, but just put it in your yard. Lean it up against the um garage door. Tape it to the garage door. Elon Musk is a terrible president. Take pictures of it. Post it on the internet. Get yourself all the clout in the world that you need. Um, but I've also said you could just stop using Facebook, Threads, IG. Get Messenger off your phone. Get WhatsApp off your phone. Get Twitter off your phone. Stop shopping on Amazon. Start shopping local. Download the Goods Unite Us app. Okay, put that on your phone. GUU. Search your app store for that. Okay, that'll tell you who you can do business with and who you shouldn't do business with. You know, my wife and I we can't eat at Taco Bell or Wendy's. Taco Bell is the closest fast food restaurant to us, and we just don't eat there anymore. I'll go to Burger King that's next door first, right? Don't spend your money at places that don't care about you, right? When I don't know about you, but it's like a pay no mind list, right? When I see a corporation bend in the fucking knee, hey, pay no mind. Like, don't shop there. Don't give them your money. Like Walmart's the obvious one, right? The Waltons are major Republican donors, um, for and have been for a long time. Would not be surprised if the Waltons were closely connected to the Heritage Foundation. It would not surprise me. Founded in 1970. When do you think the Waltons got big? Don't get me started. I worked at a fucking Sam's Club. Okay, for Target for Radio Shack. I just had to go through the Sam's Club training. I am a football coach, so I am want to blend football and politics. Here's Chris Cluey. Okay, I've actually met this person and drunk with this person at St. Patty's Day parties here in Indy. Cluey's a stellar human being, and here he is, the former Vikings punter calling President Donald Trump and the MAGA movement a Nazi slogan, Nazi movement, and he got dragged out by police. That's a former NFL punter right there. So it's not to say that nobody's speaking up. It's not to say nobody's speaking up. You know. He just has that cop's knee in his back. Joined Costco, left Sam's Club. Hell yeah, Heron. That's awesome. Question from Kelly. Dude, how do you deal with Indiana? Fuck, my in-laws and most of racist people. Um, so I'm a big ass boy, and my best friend is a great big old black man from Brooklyn, New York. And he's also a homeowner. And I hang out with him and my wife, and I have dogs, and we go to like family events. And to be honest with you, Indianapolis, where we live, is awesome for conventions. And so, like, if you want to go to Gen Con or PopCon, which are those are the conventions that I've gone to in the past, and I know it sounds lame. No, it sounds lame, but that's kind of what Indianapolis is known for is the Indy 500. Used to be the Brickyard. You know, I'm an Indiana kid, so when Jeff Gordon was racing NASCAR and the Brickyard was in Indiana, it was the biggest sporting event you've ever been to in your life. Um, so yeah, and that's not to say I couldn't just move, but I bought a house here, so I wouldn't say that I'm stuck here, but until my income drastically changes, one way or the other, we're gonna be in this house. Yeah, I notice whenever I challenge like a man on the internet over his thoughts, they never reply. So for example, I watched a video, you're welcome. I got black first cousins. Um I got black nieces. I think it'd be pretty fucking sad to be me and be racist when I have so many people so close to me that are people of color, even people that I'm related to. And I get it. One of the things that I've been told is that it's racist to talk about your proximity to black people, but I'm just saying, like, because of my proximity to people of color, it would be fucking awful to be racist. What an awful way to live. Instead, all of those people love me and I love them. You know what I mean? And I don't see them as any different. You know, my best friend's hair is a little different than mine, but we both get acne in our scalp. And so one one of the recurring conversations I have with my best friend is, what are you using now to minimize big sores on our heads? Cuz I know it sounds crazy, but he's Haitian. I'm English. And one of the things that's like common between us is we both get, like, not boils, cuz you could get that treated, but big zits on our scalp. And like nothing gross, but like he would be like, "Damn, I got one like right here." And I'm like, "Oh shit, I got one on my head too." And it's just like a thing. So we've had recurring conversations like how we treat it, you know. I'm of the thought process, if you don't pop the whitehead and get the head out and just, it is an open sore and you put a little neosporin on it and then it doesn't scar, that's the way I do it. Is pop it, get the whitehead out, and then get the blood out. Wait until it's not bleeding anymore. Put a little neosporin on it, and then you won't get a scar on your head. Yeah, but I mean, we I think we've changed shampoos 4 or 5 times in our lives, because your scalp has a different, uh, I don't know anything about it, but like it has like a different pH level than the rest of your body. So like eventually your body even gets used to the shampoo you use and it can cause a reaction. So and we sat next to each other for years at a place of business and worked. So when you sit next to someone that actually gives a shit about you and they're just like looking at you like, "Damn, your scalp looks dry. Hey, use this shit." You know what I mean? Like, hey. I mean, we play like Call of Duty together, you know. Aldi has ties being from Germany. So I thought Aldi got rid of DEI. Isn't that what the reason we weren't shopping at Aldi? Different microbiome on the scalp. See, I was right. But yeah, we've had, and obviously I wear a cover most of the time, but I wear a cover because I have sores on my scalp. It's, and it's cold. It's really cold. Like I'm cold sitting here in a hoodie and a beanie on. Wegmans, right on. I'm Italian. I get called other things by my last name and my looks. Huh. And you know what? You know what sucks? I don't think I've ever been treated poorly because of what I look like. That sucks. I can only hope to empathize. I'm sure that there were women I was trying to court that I didn't quite catch their eye. But I wouldn't call that, use acne cleansers. Well, I don't need them. I know it sounds dickheadish, but like I don't get acne. And then on your scalp, because it irritates your scalp and it makes it worse. And the red spots are bigger, the sores hurt more. I just use a shampoo with peppermint and tea tree oil in it. literally took the words out of my mouth, Crystal. Yeah, that's what I use. So, but yeah, I don't use anything. Like, if you really think about it, like, I don't use anything. It's okay right now. Yeah, scalp's got big old pores on it. Yeah, and I've pretty much since I joined the Marine Corps, I've shaved my head. So yeah, like I'm actually doing pretty good. So I use and it's peppermint. The one I got now is peppermint. So it's nice. It's like even when it's dry, it's cold and crispy. You know what I mean? Kroger sent an email to employees reaffirming its commitment to DEI. Now, my only question about Kroger would be, didn't Kroger do some other fuck shit and it is a reason we don't shop there? Yeah, for now, until the next thing comes out. One of the things I wanted to share today, if you're not already, make sure you follow Alt National Park Service on the social medias to get your lulls. Um, and also to get some direction. So America has declared himself king. It's time to take to the streets. 50501 movement, please assist. Calling on Congress to impeach Trump. Revolution's messy. Now's the time to stand. America has no king. Uh, I've been saying treason. There was the Albertsons merger, which failed. It would have created a monopoly. Okay. And as I've said before, if you're looking with Jesus, a lot of people are calling for AOC to be the future of the left. I'm behind that. She's one of the only ones I see that has a spine. Her and Bernie and Jasmine Crockett. So that trio, in my eyes, are doing what leaders are supposed to do, and they're standing out and speaking up. Tea tree and mint lavender. Ooh, that sounds good. Anything with tea tree oil in it, I'm on it. You know what I mean? Jasmine's energy. Yeah. Highly educated black woman, clearly from the ghetto. Hmm. Right? I think she is. She from the mud, just like me. We're about to learn about Jasmine Crockett. Texas. Oh, hell yeah. Where's she from? No, she from St. Louis, Missouri. You better believe it. She from the ghetto. She's Baptist, Delta, Delta Sigma Theta. Went to Rhodes College. Damn. Where's Rhodes College? That's a Masonic University in Tennessee. Ooh, she's got Illuminati written all over it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. And then she went to University of Houston for her JD. She's 43. So she and I are like around the same age. Come on, that was funny. Like she went with Rhodes College. Oh, that's a Masonic university. Oh shit, the Illuminati fucking vibes. All right, all right. But yeah, she from St. Louis, and she talks like she's from St. Louis. Yeah, and then Texas. You know what I mean? She got her JD in University of Houston. Where's Rhodes College? Memphis. Oh shit! And she went to Rhodes College in Memphis. Hood. I played in a Magic tournament in Memphis. Worlds in like 2008. Apparently, I was in grave danger, but I thought the barbecue was good. So I had just come home from the Marine Corps, so and I have PTSD pretty fucking bad. So like I was completely ice cold to it. Apparently there was like a shooting at the gas station while I was there, and I was like, you shouldn't give someone money and then try to take it back. Like I saw the whole thing. And they're like, that guy shot that guy. And I'm like, right, and that guy's fucking homeless begging for money, and that guy tried to, Indian give. You know what I mean? Oh, here, you can have a $20 bill. Ha ha ha. I'd shoot you too, asshole. That was across the street from my hotel. So I was like, you shouldn't try to Indian give a 20. That's wild. Who does that? That dude hadn't eaten in 3 days. You know what I mean? You're lucky you didn't. I'd have helped him roll you like a bum too. Fuck's wrong with you? Why you laying there groaning and shit? Fucking dork. Oh man. I honestly, if you really want me to say it, I'm gonna say it out loud. I think Donald Trump wants to muerte. He wants to be martyred, just like his behavior, like declaring himself king and shit. Just like, are you trying to get martyred? Like, god damn it. And I've been thinking about it. You got to kind of take Trump down first. Yeah, you got to take Trump down first. Because if he's alive and you take someone else, they could just give him immunity. So MTG can't stand her because she's smart and a black woman. She runs circles. Oh my god. Well, to be fair, everyone's running circles around MTG. It's not like Marjorie Taylor Greene's putting up a fight. You know what I mean? Yo, by the way, have you all seen the video of Joe Rogan after the election where he's talking about being at the inauguration and how bizarre it was? Uh and how like horrified he is now and his podcast is fucking slipping and shit. Oh my god, that's so fucking good. I love it. I never did like Joe Rogan. Like I said, I was a Joe Rogan fan until the Neil deGrasse Tyson interview the first time, and I felt like he did a disservice to him. It was a good interview, but like it felt like he did kind of a disservice, and I just stopped watching. And then I think after that he had a comedy special, and it was flat as fuck. The one in Denver, y'all know what I'm talking about, where he's wearing the navy button down and jeans. That shit was flat as fuck, and I was just like not a fan. I don't fuck with the half ass in it. You know what I mean? But yeah, one of the things I'd be wary of are pop up protests. So I'm just trying to not have people muerte. Never has women on his pod, except for that one lady, the doctor lady. But it's like he can only have her on because you know what I mean? Like she's into what he's into, and Ronna Patrick, is that her name? Yeah, he always has the same female on all the time. Yeah, they have to be right wing simping. Fucking Jesus. There was a really hot female comedian, I can't remember her name. She was fucking a killer. Running around in LA, I was in comedy like 10 years ago. And she told me, are you ready for this? She told me she's around all of them, throwing ass. None of them, none of them are even like she named names, but I'm not going to. But all these male comedians, she's like they don't have any game. Like none of them are fucking. Not even trying. And the ones that are like married and it's weird, right? I can't remember what her name was. But she was hilarious and also smoking hot and she told me like none of these guys are slinging dick. So like these are the thought leaders for like, half the population, weak ass, you know what I mean? Like just kind of turds outside of like their social setting. Yeah, Donald Trump wants to be a martyr. Yep. Because he can't govern. And I think that because he thought he had immunity, he thought that all his executive orders and presidential orders were just going to be good. And so that's what's going on right now is now he has to step it up. Now he has to step it up and see if he actually has power. He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't even actually have the power to fire all the people he's been firing, right? So a lot of people are getting their fucking jobs back and shit. And here's one question that I'll always have. If yeah, Pam Bondi is so unserious. If Elon Musk isn't the head of Doge, Doge isn't an official government, how the fuck are they getting all this access? How are they just being given access? And then I want to talk about the psychology of resigning instead of just saying no, fuck you. I don't understand. If somebody gives, like, here's the thing about leaving your post before you are relieved, right? And I get it. It's resign or get fired. Fire you. Are you kidding me? Fire you. You're right? Like, I'm not intimidated. I'm not easily intimidated. You have to be much bigger than me and probably made of metal for me to like be afraid, right? So when I think about like Elon Musk is just running around government agencies being like, this is a stick up. Give me all your data. And people are just like, oh my God, I resign. And it's just like, I don't understand that at all. I don't understand how that works. He doesn't have power or authority or control, and it's being given to him. It's like, again, Elon Musk is a terrible fucking president, but why aren't people standing up to him? I don't understand. Unless, so here's I'm sad there's not as many people here when I'm being all conspiratory. Uh, I think Elon gave everybody investment advice, and he thinks that he's blackmailing everybody, or he's blackmailed everybody because they all bet on him. They all invested in him, you know? Remember, every elected official in the United States has a stock profile and is actively trading stock with the exception of AOC and Tim Walz. And I also saw John Ossip does not have an active trading profile. He does have a net worth of a little over 3 million though, not from stock trading. I just want to make sure I point that out. And what the fuck? Why aren't people writing books while they're in office? I never understand that. Write it and put it the fuck out. Put the money in a trust. You don't need access to that. You're an elected official. But why can't you write a book? I don't understand. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. And see, there are just as many stupid people in Canada. 27% of Canadians view the US as an enemy country. That's so fucking sad. Yeah, I saw that about John Ossip. And I was like, interesting. He doesn't actively stock trade, he just has a high net worth. And it's like, okay. Okay. That's that's actually excellent. I'm I'm I like seeing someone have a high net worth and they're not stock trading and insider trading. Obviously, there's way worse shit you could be doing, right? But I also think that there are legitimate ways to make money, right? And legitimate uses for money. And money power is important, okay? So a lot of people have asked, one of the big questions I get asked is, how come you haven't already started the American Socialist Party? Because it's about um, the logo, the most important logo that you put on all your social media profiles. Um, I want asp vertically in a snake head, and I just don't have the time, energy, effort to produce it. Um, but I think I can have it done pretty quickly. Like I said, we're going to change our banks this weekend. I'll get further clarification on starting another. Yeah, I just don't think there's enough money, just so you know. I don't think there's enough money. A lot of people have purported that they're scared, and that's one thing I said. Phoenix would be a six symbol. Well, I thought a snake, an asp, right? An asp is a snake. So the snake, it's like, it makes sense. But I get what you're saying about a phoenix. Ultimately, you can do whatever you want with the American Socialist Party, right? You can make anything you want, but asp, it's the year of the snake, right? What is particularly dangerous to a donkey and an elephant? A fucking snake, right? So it just kind of fits. And what I'm hesitant on is if it takes at least $1,000 to become a registered political party with the FEC. Do I have to have that to get the tax ID, open the bank account, right? And I don't want other people's money. It's not that I don't appreciate it when other people want to support that. It's I don't have any of that set up yet. And what I would rather do is put my own money in there to start the account. Not to have stake in it, not it's not the purpose. So that before I ever ask for a dime, I already have it. I already have it set up. Here is where we can put money, right? Does that make sense? Because if I don't want to get into a position where I'm trying to fundraise money on my main channel, right? I don't want to have to fundraise on my main channel, right? I want my profiles for the all these sites to just have like a simple link tree. I don't want to be convoluted. Hey, this is about policy and fundraising. And if you think it's not about policy and fundraising, then we're all fucked up from the get-go. You got to have a plan and you got to be able to fundraise. And money power and membership matters, right? And so the whole what I'm setting you all up for, which is like spending a lot of time talking about is I'm gonna start creating these social media profiles. I'm gonna doctor up a logo. Ultimately, hope, dear God, somebody help me. Um, I like I said, I want ASP vertically inside of an asp head, a snake head, and then I need something that can be monochromatic. Think simple is better, right? Sorry, I would keep getting messages from people. Yeah, yeah. Make sure you tap hearts and stuff. Like this shit, share this shit. Um, but what I'll ask you to do is tell you not to use these applications except to share American Socialist Party stuff and to comment on that and to share that. Um, so for now, because of what we're doing, I'm not going ahead and creating those profiles and trying to get people to like it and shit. I don't even have the logo that I want yet, right? So I'm trying to, because I think about aesthetics. I think it matters. I think if I'm gonna join a political party, look at the fucking Republican and Democrat logos. Like somebody can poop one out pretty quick. The last king we had was run out of here. Not sure what he's hoping for. Yeah, I think he made a mistake calling himself a king on the same day that he blamed Ukraine for the war. Like, Ukraine is our ally. Russia is our enemy. I just want to keep saying that. Russia is an enemy to the United States. They had bounties on American soldiers. Russia paid up to $250,000 per mission in Afghanistan. But yeah, what I figured I'd do is I'd try to by March 1st to have a logo, all these profiles, because the 28th, the last day of February, is the blackout. It's kind of antithetical to your movement to have a bunch of brand new social media profiles popping up the week of a economic blackout. That kind of is antithetical to your movement. So I thought I'd wait until March 1st, and I'm absolutely kicking the tire down the road and saying like I could absolutely do this today, now, start now, but it's more symbolic to be like these profiles were started March 1st, 2025, and then we went from there. And I'm using my podcast to air it out, to talk about it, to say like I don't regularly ask for money and I'm not asking you for money. And I want you to know one of the things that I want to do differently is I want to sell merch. I like seeing t-shirts with people like, oh, physics. Uh, Fem on the spectrum, physics. There's only one. I think only this one has a screw in it. These don't, and they just sit perfectly like that. See, a little bit of the off alignment throws the weight a little bit. Yeah, I think symbol like once I saw that there was an economic blackout on the 28th, I'm a procrastinator by nature. So I was like, haha, shit's not due till the first. It also fits the fucking timing and symbolism sort of desires that you would have for born out of like you said, somebody brought up a phoenix, right? Like born out of the darkness of the economic blackout on February 28th, 2025, right? A true workers' party, right? A desire for every American worker to join a union, and unions are meant to be just as powerful and are meant to help shape policy as much as politicians are. Why? Because unions, they manage people, large groups of people. Yeah. So by the way, we've been live for over an hour on TikTok without getting restricted or banned. Great job, everybody. One of the things that I will make sure I need to say more often is I appreciate my mods who are not here. I don't think. But most importantly, like haven't really needed to mod. So I just want to say thank you to the chat. Those of you that have stuck around and stuck with me thus far, I appreciate you. And what I try to go away out of my way to do is to not ask for much. So I appreciate the help that I've gotten so far. I try not to ask for much help because I'm gonna ask you for help, but I want it to be something tangible. that you get in return. I guess that sounds transactional, but that's not what I mean by it. I mean, like, if you're going to give me money, I want you to actually get something for it, right? So I want to be able to I want to be able to have stickers and magnets and pins and t-shirts and hoodies and beanies and baseball hats. I want to do that stuff because it's when you see other people wearing it, it brings more eyeballs to the cause. Sorry. And I think it'd be badass to have like a QR code to a link tree that like here's where you can follow the American Socialist Party. Here's where you can donate. Here's where you could change your membership once we're registered on the FEC website. And understand that there will be no failure. I'm making the decision to change my education to get a degree in political science so that I can write policy instead of just having ideas. And I know that I could just like study and do that. I don't necessarily to get a degree in it, but I'm like a lifelong student. I've been in college in 3 separate decades. Why not just get a degree in political science so that I can write better policy, so that I can support my political party by like having all that shit written out, man. I already wrote it down here. Oh, you need a speech about this? Here, I wrote it down. You know what I mean? But yeah, appreciate y'all. Like I said, I want to make sure I take the time to say thank you. I appreciate my platform. This show that I get to do with y'all every day is something I look forward to doing. Yeah, I think that's what I owe, right? If I'm gonna have and maintain an audience of any kind, if I'm gonna build a political party, if I'm gonna be the founder of a political party that is able to make a great change in this country, I have to be there every day. I don't take days off. I don't think of it. I don't even think of it like that. It's like I said, I don't even know how many episodes that we are in. I don't even think of it like that. It's just something I do. Um, I know that it's trying times for a lot of people. A lot of people are understand that the president of the United States cannot change an amendment without congressional approval. So not only did a judge say he can't take away birthright citizenship, the Supreme Court can't overrule an amendment either. Only Congress can do that. So understand that there is a substantial amount of fear mongering going on in the media. They are making shit bigger than it is. It's not listening to anyone. Yeah, you ain't listening to anyone. I mean, he might be listening to Putin. Asperg, the shield icon. Oh, sorry, I had to do a CAPTCHA to get into Reuters. Here, we want to make sure we get the word out. An appeals court blocked a Biden era student loan forgiveness, student debt relief plan. Make sure, because I think some people in my audience had gotten help. I just want to make sure you just didn't get screwed. Okay, here's two things I see that's like crazy, right? A grand jury recommends Alabama Police Department be immediately abolished. Woo! You know you done some fuck shit when they're like, shut that police station down, please. Holy shit. And then also a few down. Yo, this is crazy. Texas teenage girls arrested for mass casualty plot. Hey, you know what? I know shit's crazy right now, but you know what I'd much rather be reading? I'd much rather be reading that people were arrested before a mass casualty event. So, I'm happy about that actually. I just think it's crazy. On one story, it's like a grand jury recommended that an entire police station just be abolished, like yesterday. And also, police arrested two Texas girls that were gonna commit a mass casualty event before it ever happened. Yeah, they were plotting a mass casualty event. Yep. Yeah, that's kind of how I try to do it is I got to tell you what's going on. I got to figure out what is the most pressing thing to talk about today. Um I mean, I've felt like Donald Trump was a traitor and committed treason for a long time, so I don't necessarily see that as news. But Donald Trump declaring himself king and saying Ukraine started the war is just mind-numbing levels of stupid. And I want to keep pointing this out that the president might have immunity, for presidential acts. He's the commander in chief, and there's a whole nother level of law that he's not prepared for, clearly. Um, and it's gonna get to a point. You mean like, is he somehow related to David Sachs? Because Peter Thiel, David Sachs, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Donald Trump, um, Vic, uh, Viktor Orban, Benjamin Netanyahu, Vladimir Putin. Those are your oppressors, right? And any of the hard right MAGA supporters. Who's Jeffrey Sachs? I love see. People just come in your comment section, tell you where to spend your time. Columbia UN will give you history in the Ukraine situation. Why do I need a history in the Ukraine situation? Russia attacked Ukraine. Remember Donbass? Remember Wagner? You understand I was in Marine Corps infantry, right? And I got like buddies on the ground in Ukraine. You might want to be real careful. Just throwing this out there. Russia started this shit. They invaded Ukraine. I don't need a history on this. Let's matter of fact, before I block you, let me take a spin. Yeah, talk about propaganda. Yeah, so I'm just gonna read this. Like, why would I be glad that I did this? No, fuck Russia, fuck Vladimir Putin. There will be no peace until they are done. I'm not threatened. Yeah, you're spitting Russian propaganda, Spinner. Completely Russian propaganda. Yeah, I'm not threatened. Threatening, maybe. Never threatened. Never threatened. Never scared at all. Nope. But Russian propagandist for sure. I saw that. All I had to do was look him up on Wikipedia, go down to war in Ukraine. Sachs said that the Russian invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 would be hard to beat, and that Finland's moves to join NATO would undermine a negotiated peace. All this talk of defeating Russia, to my mind, is reckless. That sounds like Russian support. That sounds like support for Russia. In June 2022, he co-signed an open letter calling for a ceasefire in the war. We all know that that means that Ukraine gives up its territory. That's not acceptable. Okay. And Sachs appeared several times on one of the top-rated shows funded by the Russian government. So who's been duped? Who's reading Russian propaganda? Well, in 2022, Sachs appeared several times on one of the top-rated shows funded by the Russian government, hosted by Vladimir Solovyov, to call for Ukraine to negotiate and step away from its maximalist demands of removing Russia from Ukraine territory. I don't think it's maximalist to want the invading army who's losing to get the fuck out of your country. Take your losing ass. Sachs suggested that the U.S. was responsible for the sabotage of the Nord Stream pipeline. Really? Who done it? It's fucking insane to me. Whatever. Like Spinner. I literally did investigation. I looked it up. Like Russia did it. What the fuck are you talking about? Like other countries said this, not the United States. Like Sweden and Denmark are the ones that said Russia blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. Slava Ukraini? Fucking free Palestine? You're an idiot? Like, yeah. The fuck are you on, my man? You know what I mean? Block account? No, 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 no. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I blocked the wrong person. Sorry, Kelly. I accidentally blocked you. Not some juvenile. No, why would I read a Russian propagandist's books? This is what's wrong with people. Why do I need to take in their thoughts? Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I blocked them. They're long fucking gone. But it's like, why do I need to take in their reading? I did some light research. I love when people say juvenile Wikipedia. That's hilarious. You understand that it's linked, right? That all the credible sources are at the bottom of the document and that you just have to see the little numbers. That takes you to the link. Yeah. Jesus. I always think it's hilarious. I'm delusional and threatened. I'm threatened by some random human being that what the fuck ever are you talking about? Maybe threatening. Hey, I my thing is I don't think it can be nothing. And I know that doesn't feel good to hear. There's too much silence for there to be nothing. I hope that helps. I know that it doesn't. I know that you hear that and you're like, "Oh, it's wishful thinking." And it's like, "Nah, don't you think they would be saying something?" Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If there was nothing that they could do, right? Nothing that they could do. Wouldn't they come out and tell you this is the time to build community? This is the time to get to know your neighbors. This is the time to save your money. Stay home. So yeah, end of the month. Yeah, there's too much silence for there to be nothing. These motherfuckers want attention. Think about having the audacity to run for public office. You want the power and the money and the control and the respect and you know what I mean? That's why I'm like I'm going to found the American Socialist Party. Who has the balls to be that person in your community, right? And hope there's tons of people lining up that want to debate that want. Wouldn't you rather have a socialist debate a Democrat than Democrat versus Republicans forever? Right? Like I don't want this. All the Republicans' platform have is hate. All the Democrats can say is at least we're not Republicans, but their masters are the same. They're both bought by foreign power. Wouldn't you rather have a socialist get up there and say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I'm out. Like, pay us. I'm here for fucking socialism, bitch. If we're not here for that, we got problems. And are willing to I'll throw hands. What's that motherfucker's name from Arkansas? Bobby Wayne or whatever? I fell bigger trees. It's that kind of food. I'm sinking on that junk bonds, and then they go get stiff, and then the yacht club with muffin a little bit. What I get a violation for? A single panel violation. I don't know if I've ever had that. Tyranny requires your fear, your silence, and your compliance. Democracy requires your courage. J.B. Pritzker. Mm-hmm. Mark Wayne. That's Mark Wayne. Sorry. Oh, here's the last one. In case you needed a reason to bust out some Rage Against the Machine today. There's an ICE prosecutor in Dallas that runs a white supremacist Twitter account. And remember, their ICE is funded by Palantir. By the way, Palantir's stock just crashed in the last 24 hours. I just want to throw that out there. Anyway, try not to fall for any misinformation today. Some of you motherfuckers. Have a good day. 2,000 viewers do not deserve waiting for the right time to pounce. Quiet's my thought. So I think too. There were too many things that happened since election night. Too many things. Too many things. There's no way. There's no way this is how democracy dies. That's literally how I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like when Dildo Baggins does something every single day, I'm like, there's no way. That's not how that ends. That's not how this ends. So far the justice system has held up, by the way. The federal judges that Joe Biden appointed have all been like, no man, that's illegal. So